Last week, the Duffer Brothers officially announced that Season 5 is halfway through filming. That means pretty soon we might actually have our grand finale. Is it going to be an epic culmination of all the previous seasons? Will we finally get our answers to the lingering puzzles? Someone can only hope. But brace yourselves though, because the directors promised there will be a whole lot of blood, plenty of surprises, and horror coming up. And we've got the juicy details on what that could mean. The bizarre ending of Season 4 feels like it has been decades ago, even though it only has been 2 years. I don't know, guys. Netflix needs to come up with an extraordinary plot for this one, because the expectations of people have skyrocketed during this wait. And with all the rumors around, they might actually be onto something epic. Will we see the return of old monsters, or perhaps the shocking death of a beloved character, aka 11? And could it really all have been a game of D&D all along? Some fans even speculating that we might have a Darth Vader and Luke moment with Vecna and 11. Ooh, that's pretty wild. Anyways, stick around because we're going to give an in-depth analysis of what the streets are saying about this movie. Theory 1. 11 will sacrifice herself. As far as theories go, this one is the most heartbreaking, as we've all grown fond of the daring and powerful 11, who's no stranger to emotional disappearances and epic returns, having done it so many times. But sadly, this might be her last time. Her final encounter with Vecna could be too intense for her, leaving her wounded and powerless, ultimately leading to her demise. This would create a tragic, yet an epic ending to the series. And it makes sense, as 11 has already gone too far and risked her life multiple times to save her friends. Many events throughout the series have hinted that she's willing to risk it all for those she cares about. If this theory comes true, 11's sacrifice will be one of the series' most emotional and honestly one of the saddest moments, leaving even the toughest of you crying like a baby. Hey, wipe your tears though, because I promise the next one isn't as depressing. Theory 2. Vecna is 11's father. In Season 4, Vecna was revealed to be Henry Creel, or 001, a young boy who happened to kill his whole family and subsequently fall in the hands of Dr. Brenner, or Papa as 11 likes to call him. He wanted to study and control his powerful psychic abilities to his benefit, but soon Dr. Brenner understood that controlling Henry is not an easy task, as he proved to be an aggressive and extremely powerful boy. That's when he initiated the MK Ultra program and brought in a lot of people to help. Conveniently enough, it was around this time that 11 was born to her mother, Terry Ives, who was an employee at Hawkins' lab and a contributor to the MK Ultra program during that time. You can probably see how things are starting to connect now, right? Anyways, fast forward 9 years, Henry goes into Terminator mode and rebels against Dr. Brenner and his lab, killing dozens of innocent children in the process, and ironically sparing 11 and urging her to join him. But 11, being the sweet child she is, basically says, "Nah, you're crazy," and bam, she got rid of him. Only she didn't actually say that. She did manage to eliminate him though. However, he didn't die. He was sent to the Upside Down, where he later became Vecna. Briefly, this is the story of Vecna and 11, and as you can see, there is a powerful indication that he could be her daddy. And fans are anticipating a grand reveal similar to that of Star Wars, where he urges her to join forces with him and conquer the world together. What an epic cinematic moment that could be. Keep watching though, there's plenty more surprises like this to come. Theory 3. Eddie is returning. Eddie Munson, the Freak, the Dungeon Master, the hero of Hawkins, with his wild energy, rebellious nature, and dramatic scenes, he showed us that he wasn't just there to play Dungeons and Dragons, but to steal our hearts too. And oh boy, did he do a great job. Because let's be honest, who doesn't love a good rebel? And Eddie? He was the best of them all. Sorry, Steve, but it's true. Eddie's journey from being the freak outcast to his tragic death as a hero was nothing short of epic, and his colorful presence in the show left all of us wanting more. But we were forced to say goodbye far too soon, as Eddie went out in a battle against the vicious swarms of Vecna's demonic bats, and although he fought like a true rock star, he was too wounded to continue, and well, you know what happened after that. As he laid there in the arms of his best bud, Dustin, delivered a final, iconic line. "I didn't run this time." It left the fans with goosebumps and tears. After that, well, let's just say the world of Stranger Things hasn't been the same since. And the fans. Oh, the fans, they were not pleased. Nope, not even a little bit. They demanded Eddie's return, some way, somehow. And while the writers are keeping mum, and we've got no official word yet, but with the sheer volume of fan requests, I'm betting we haven't seen the last of Eddie the Freak. So buckle up, Hawkins, because you're about to be freaked out once again by Eddie the Freak. Stick around for the next one though, because it's going to blow your mind. Theory 4. Old and new monsters will be in town. Alright, so starting from the first season of Stranger Things, we've been absolutely blown away by monsters constantly crashing Hawkins' party, from the surprisingly cute Demogorgon all the way to the downright hideous Vecna. And yeah, the gang has managed to take down each and every one of them, but here's the kicker. In the world of Stranger Things, dying doesn't really mean you're gone for good. So naturally, there are all kinds of theories flying around about which monsters might make a comeback and who's going to steal the spotlight this season. Most folks are betting on Vecna making some serious waves, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that. Jamie Campbell Bower, the guy who plays Vecna, has already dropped some hints that Season 5 is going to crank things up to a whole new level, especially when it comes to Vecna's influence. It's gonna be bigger, badder, and more jaw-dropping than ever. But let's not forget about the Mind Flayer. This creepy crawler might also be gearing up for a big role, because hey, Stranger Things loves its intense nostalgic horror, and the final season is sure to pull out all the stops with these creatures for an epic cinematic showdown. Now, while the idea of old monsters making a comeback is cool and all, the real hype is around the baddest of them all. Throughout the series, they've been dropping hints that this beast is gonna make its grand entrance in Season 5. If you've been paying attention, you probably noticed that a lot of these monsters are straight out of D&D. And there's one in particular that's hard to miss, the Thessal Hydra. This thing's a fearsome beast with multiple heads. And if you caught that scene where Mike shows a painting of the boys fighting a giant red 3-headed dragon, well, that's got fans buzzing. And it seems like a pretty solid clue that this monster is gonna play a major role in the final season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm beyond pumped to see this thing in action and find out what kind of chaos it's gonna unleash. But enough about that though, and let's move on to the next big reveal, because trust me, we have saved the best for last. Theory 5. It was a D&D game all along. Out of all the theories we've discussed in this video, this one is probably going to infuriate all of you, and I get it. We've all invested so much time and emotion into this story. The idea that it could all just be a game from the start might feel like it's undermining everything we've come to love about Stranger Things. But come on, you have to admit, if this theory plays out for real, it would be one of the greatest plot twists in the history of television, period. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it is a closed case, like, surprise, you have all been fooled, it was just a game played by the 4 friends from the very first episode. No, I'm just suggesting that we keep an open mind to this possibility, because if you look closely, you will notice that so many parts of the story actually mimic the game, like the monsters, the weapons the boys use, the parallel worlds, and even the structure of the story. It all feels like it is straight out of a D&D campaign. But that's the beauty of fan theories, right? They make us question everything we thought we knew about our favorite shows. So don't worry, it's just a theory. After all, I hope so. But what do you think? Could Stranger Things really be a D&D game all along, or is it just a clever narrative tool? I want to hear all your thoughts down in the comments. As of now, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Those are some of the wildest theories floating around the Stranger Things universe, which some are super exciting and others are straight up terrifying, and as the wait gets longer, these theories just keep coming. But I hope you enjoyed this ride, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, keep it upside down.